About oEmbed. oEmbed is, like I said, an exchange format, and it makes the machines do all the work for you, especially when the discovery part is enabled. And I do emphasize on the discovery part, because as of now, there's also some sites that do not actually implement the discovery part, meaning that it's not necessarily it is as simple for the user, but it's not as simple for the API program. So no more madness, and you can get a site that just looks like this. So oEmbed has three parts. There's a provider and there's a consumer. And the provider and the consumers talk together. The provider is responsible to give out the information of the actual embed and other information that's pertinent to the media, the content that you're implementing. And the media does not have to be just video. Right now, our plugin is just for video because it was an itch that we wanted to scratch for ourselves, but it can be any other rich content media, pictures, or any other payload. The consumers, which would be the blog or the plugin, or it can be any other site, API if you want, is what is the consumer. Both of them exchange in either a JSON or XML format, and I do have some code to show you. I'm not sure if everyone wants to see the code, because it's I see. But it does not make it as clean as, say, an embed, but since it's only machines talking to each other, we don't really care about how it looks. So the information that is exchanged is the author name, the author's information, so it can be either a link, it can be anything that is pertinent to getting back to the author, the provider, in our case, the NFB, the provider URL, in our case, would be our URL. The content type could be video, pictures, or any other rich format content, and the dimension information. And the dimension is the actual part which is important for WordPress users, because this is what is going to make or break your design. If your design flow is 500 pixels wide, or it's 300, the height has to be 300. This is where you can specify it. You can actually override it for any content. And then there's HTML code necessary to actually do the embedding of the application, of the content. So discovery, as I mentioned briefly, is the part that enables the computers to actually know where to get the information and in what format. And discovery links usually are hidden up in the HTML, as you can see. This is what our discovery links look like for JSON and XML. I've highlighted the portions that are going to make it easier to read for the XML savvy people. But other than that, everyone else I don't think needs to know what it looks like. This is an example of the JSON feed. Isn't it pretty? It's one of those things. So probably your question is, who uses it? And some providers right now are Flickr, the NFB, Hulu, and actually Hulu is it's a very well hidden little tidbit, but it's on the oEmbed site. Then there's Vimeo, which is, we're on par with Vimeo for the discovery part, and there's revision 3. There's a few more that are coming out, but it's mainly right now, most of the programmers that are doing like what I did, where we had spare time and we put a hidden feature on the website. The consumers, right now, well, there's the NFB, there's Buckybase, 280 Slides, which is one of the best. There's Double.com, and there's you guys if you install our plugin. So the user base is probably going to grow. It actually has grown since we released the plugin. There was 50 downloads yesterday, I think?
86.
Well, I'm corrected, 86. Wow. So what can it do for your blogging? It's going to make your life easier. Basically, from now on, there's no more finding that embed code on the web page to tweet it or to embed it in your blog. The only thing you need to do is to either you can have a bookmarklet or you can have your own, just copy paste and paste it in your blog, activate the plugin, and you're done. And the only thing right now you need to know about our plugin, the only potential problems, it's not quite 1.0 yet. We're still adding stuff. It does not support the full specs per se, meaning that right now we're working mainly on discovery. We're not working with the other, the Flickr. It doesn't quite work with Flickr yet, but we're adding the database to do that. And it's partial specs, that's what it means. So I had hoped for a live demo, but there seems to be a screen problem. So I do have some screenshots of, well, I can try the live demo, but I just wanted to make a call to arms before I forget. So this is where you can get it. I'll put up the slides on SlideShare as requested. And the project is open source. We put it on Launchpad, meaning that if you want to modify it, add to it, or whatever, you can join in. There's no problem. It's under GPL code, I believe. That's what we put it up under it. And this is the resources if you want to be able to get more information about oEmbed. There's a Google group, which doesn't seem that active, but there's a lot of people using it, with a lot of lurkers actually. And the oEmbed site, which is oembed.com, and if you want a good tutorial, there's a tutorial from WebMonkey on webmonkey.com about oEmbed. So this is our contact information, wherever you want to talk to us or join us. And there's this call to arms from one of our projects. We're looking for WordPress themes guru. If they want to work with us, we have a few ideas and some projects. So this is what it would look like. I'm going to try to set up the presentation. I apologize, I'm running Snow Leopard. It's not working perfectly on the first try.